It's about 1500 BC, when ancient Chinese people invented Chinese writings. Some teachers would put the Chinese history a few thousand years before the date. It's not a big difference if we study human history for a million years. Yes, we came to exist so long ago. After Chinese people invented Chinese writing, Shang and Zhou was the two dynasties got the degree of writing records. Then followed by long seasons of spring and autumn, war states kept fighting each other. And at last, the first emperor of dynasty Qing. Literally, the emperor named himself the first emperor. He set up a strong central ruling system for Chinese from now on. We can call it totalitarian or dictatorship, but those words not exist those days. It's a pyramid in human history, but Chinese people didn't know pyramid either. And when Egyptians already gave up pyramid building those days. After dynasty of Qing, there are similar dynasties of Han, Sui, Tang, Song, Yuan, Ming, Qing. One followed the before. Emperors had theories say why they destroyed the same dynasty before them, and people always dare not to not believe them. It's a cycling game of chimpanzees climbing up the pyramid. During those dynasties, they kept a system castrating men, and from dynasty Song, the society kept it as a culture to break women's feet physically. When it turned into Qing, British won the war of opium in 1842. It made the dynasty of Qing start to collapse. The process was very slow and many got killed during it. In 1882, 40 years after the first opium war between British and Chinese, USA passed the Chinese Exclusion Act. Act like this really curbed the Chinese inside the hell. It was terrible for Chinese, and let's put it, first and half centuries after the event, it's also shameful for all kinds of human beings. Then in 1908, U.S. Congress passed a bill, and then President Theodore Roosevelt started the Box Indemnity Scholarship Program. Yes, this balanced the feeling of the history of Chinese Exclusion Act. Qing dynasty ended in 1911. So we can simply put it, Chinese history is from Qing to Qing. No, history didn't stop there. Communist Party get hands on China from 1949. They get good theory about why they rule the people, but actually it's still a game of chimpanzees and the pyramid. Immediately, communists start to kill landowners and their families by millions. Chinese and Americans fight during the Korean War, but Chinese soldiers denied they were sent by China government. They call themselves volunteers. After the Korean War, communists turned inside to kill over 30 million Chinese by starvation from 1959 to 1961. Then they tested nuclear weapons from October 1964. After that, they got the big bomb. Mao and his comrades started to torture more Chinese by another political movement. It's been called the Great Cultural Revolution. Actually, it's torturing and killing in great numbers. In the same time, Americans went to land on the moon in 1969. Steve Jobs started to sell Apple computers in 1976. When communists kept killing all these Chinese during this period. When the power transferred from Mao to Deng with a series of struggles, China communists started to use markets. Its period being called reforming and opening. It's market, but not a free market. 1989, it's seen killing in Beijing, Tiananmen Square. After it, German people broke down the Berlin Wall. A few months later, 1999, it's seen start of persecution and mass torturing of Falun Gong practitioners. Then people learned the business of human organ transplant. The business booming in China. 2001, China joined WTO, World Trade Organization. Its export really started booming. In the same time, they kept a strong hand on birth control. Some people think it's just pregnant abortion, but how they did it? Push women onto the table and pull the flesh out of their body. Okay? The history of China tells us they kill too much. They did the killing publicly or secretly. They did it revolutionarily or anyway. They achieved it in time of internet. But the market and trading brought China to the position of the second economic volume and shows the boundary of the free market, its non-free market. The Communist Party member became the biggest benefited group, together with their families and friends. They have the number of hundreds, millions people, and enjoy the billion Chinese. They twisted the history and brainwashed people in time of internet and iPhone. Should people fight back? Yes, but definitely we don't want hate and we don't want killing. Why they kill so much? The reason is the pyramid. The chimpanzees climbing on the pyramid. But among all of it, China became the second economy. And they reinvent the internet by splitting it. There are at least two internets. One is your internet, and another one is Chinese internet. There is a ghost war between the two internets. It's part of brainwashing process to turn innocent Chinese unknown the truth history and start to fight against the rest of the world. The technique to build up the ghost war is as follows: to block IP network address, pollute DNS servers, filter and forbid UIRs, reset TCP connection, screen and drop data packets, attack as man in middle, block VPN servers, manipulate zombie computers, inspect content with AR learning, and persecute anyone who tells the truth. All of the technique used by the ghost war can be defeated by software and hardware. Its cost will be far less than a tariff war between China and the US, but who's going to pay for it? Now it's going to see many trading conflicts between free world and China. We already know your leaders will manipulate it to keep friendship with those China chimps. And we know you can get good number of bribes and balance the import-export finance sheet. 30 years has passed since 40th President Ronald Reagan once called to Mr. Gorbachev, please tear down this wall. The simple sentence is one of the reasons we respect history studies. The human history should be about humanity, and it's profitable to tear down the ghost war. It costs far less than a trading conflict. And keep passing data on internet help companies run their business, and people learn the truth. They can stop hating and killing. It's one of the reasons we like the internet, because it can pass data and transfer the truth. Yes, during the tariff war, people can get jobs back from slave factories in China, but don't blame the slaves. They got pushing down and nailed onto the ground by chimps and pyramid of power. By tearing down the wall, you can return help to more slaves. We know those chimps is going to find friendship from your people. But inside the pyramid, we dare now to tell the chimps the simple word: stop torturing and stop killing. They kill too much. This is a simple truth in China history. Stop killing, give up revenge, don't kill back. If you learn China history in such short time, in a few minutes, please help transfer the truth, help to tear down the ghost war. Thank you.